People today. I think we should do these more when we do Transformers. No new people show up. But thank you for joining. I'm Mahesh. Uh, I request you to turn your cameras on because I don't want to put you to sleep. I have put a lot of people to sleep. That's my core competency these days. Doctors have started recommending me along with melatonin and other drugs. So I'm just trying to work against that. So if you turn your cameras, it just helps me work against my own molecules or chemicals. One more camera on, and then we can go started. Yes, that's how many cameras we needed. Thank you, Susie. Now I know Susie, Mohit, and Philippa are there, and Veronica is there, and Projecta is there. Okay, great. That's all I needed. Okay, I'm Mahesh. That's my LinkedIn. If you send me a request, I'm still accepting requests. So please send me a request. Just scan this. You can send me a request. I've worked at all big companies. This is what I'm lamenting about in this slide. That I worked in Google AI, I worked in Meta, I worked at Microsoft, I worked in AWS, and I have worked in latest greatest stuff. Uh, I will tell you how I got to here. Hopefully, you can copy some of that learnings too. It was not that easy for me either to get into AI, but I was able to break in, and now it's 100 times easier for me to do anything in AI because the journey I have in last 10 years. But I will share my secrets, hopefully. So that's me. Here is a form that allows you to get all the details, all our Slack communications, and other things. If you subscribe to this form, your life will be awesome because you will get all the Substack material and all the free things we do without you looking out for them. So please subscribe to this form also. So that's the other thing. And maybe we have 100 more. I was counting this last time I did this session, and I have given 378 interviews. If somebody thinks that, getting those Meta, Google, and all this was just me lucky, it is lucky. And I enjoyed the process, to be honest. After a point, it became like really, like I said, I stopped saying no to any hiring manager. And a lot of hiring manager reach out to you if you work in AI and if you worked in one big company. Mostly it happened after I started showing up more on LinkedIn after Microsoft, and we released this vision solution that I was building. And then I was on Build conference next to Satya in 2017 and all on the main keynote. And after that, just everybody kind of reach out to you. You can get to interviews. But getting to interviews is not, I'm not ashamed that my conversion rate is only 15%. That means I get rejections 8 to 9 times. And if you are feeling bad that you're getting rejected, it's not that bad. Believe me, I've seen it worse. And this is me after like all these credentials and everything. So that's my conversion rate. One thing I will put star is that the jobs I apply for are little like I'm trying to double my salary. So when I was making like 300, I was going for 600. When I was going for 600, I was going for 1.2 million. And that's like that contributes to this number also. But you can do that in AI. The good news there is that you can double your salary every other year. At least that has been true for me for last 4 or 5 years. And it continues to be true for my friends who are still applying and getting. I was looking for new insights and I stopped getting new insights in these interviews. So I stopped applying recently, but I will go back in the game, I think, just to make sure that I know what the systems looks like so I can help all of you. But that's few facts. What are we going to talk about today? I will talk about how can you create awesome CVs that can pass all these automated systems and pass at least the first round in hiring manager, because that's I think I can prepare you for. After that, there are a lot of ifs and buts, but at least I think I can get you past that. What it takes to breaking into AI roles, I will share a roadmap, and people who have done the cohort, there is a plan that we are building. You will get a copy of that plan, but at least I will share with everybody here to see like what a plan looks like. If you have 21 days, which is from now till 26th of December, you can start this Saturday, Sunday. Hopefully, we will share with all of you, at least the people who have done the cohort, because the material there is what we have taught in cohort and it's like copyrighted and all that. But we'll give you a clear plan, and hopefully, I leave you with some of the stories that you can use. Okay, then, what is needed to succeed as an AIPM? So I was in AI early enough before this whole, hiring of AIPM became a thing. There was a recession, and this was 2022. and we were looking at only hiring will happen in AI, but we were not getting enough AI specific candidates. So I was in a committee which decided how should we interview or what skills we should look for in AIPM interviews. And I came up with this framework then, which is three kind of skills we are looking for that you will need to succeed in AIPM. Can somebody make a guess? What's the first skill? No.
Product management.
Great. Great. I am looking for people who understand the ecosystem, because if you don't understand the ecosystem, you can't do anything in AI, because if you just don't understand who's who, then you can't start fast enough. You can't finish fast enough. And that's what I'm looking for. You need to know who the AGI builders are, who is building on super intelligence, which are the people there who are building tool, which are the companies. If you're working for a specific vertical, like let's say healthcare, let's say legal, then who are the companies which are building vertical AI agents in that domain? I want you to know all of that. So I will frame questions in my interview to make sure I can check for this. So this is my guidance to my hiring managers, and I will make sure that when you come to us, there you understand AI ecosystem. What's the next one, folks? By the way, don't new people don't get intimidated by people who are answering, because they are part of the cohort. And I have shared this many times in this community. If you're first time, then don't worry too much. Life is good.
About
You will know it
yeah,
after this.
how about curiosity, Mahesh?
Curiosity, empathy, all these remain same. Like all these are needed. On top of this is needed too.
Oh, okay.
That's table stakes. Yeah. So I'm not talking about what you know, AIPM, what you need to become a product manager. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about specific to AI. And second thing is we are looking for people who understand ML and AI concepts. I know this may not sound public information, but we are looking for people who at least understand technology and how these things are and how these things work. Not at the level of a researcher, but not at the level of you can write code, but can you explain what it is? Can you explain how it works? And can you explain its limitations and advantages? Maybe one over the other. And if you don't know that, I will tell you why I don't want to hire you, because there are really bad repercussions we have paid in past of hiring AIPMs who know ecosystem but doesn't know anything technical, and they are very hard for us to bring into the teams, and they slow down the teams. They don't get the respect of the engineering counterparts, and they also project timelines which are completely insane either, or are too far or too narrow. So that's why we need this. Okay, and then we are looking for specific AI. People are talking about this a lot. They're talking about AI product sense. This is the idea of how can you create AI specific roadmaps? How can you build with iterations? Do you understand evaluations? Do you understand observations and pricing? Do you understand what are the discovery challenges specific to AI? And that's I'm looking for when you do the projects and all. Okay. If you have these two skills and not this one, I will refer you to become a solution architect. If you have these two, I will want you to run our evangelist and make sure that a lot of people can come to us. If you know these two, but you're not technical, then I will give you maybe a go-to-market role or evangelist role or all those, but I won't hire you as a PM. And if you have these two, I will give you technical program manager role. But if you don't understand ecosystem, how to position us to win, then I won't give you a product manager role. So now you can see that even if you understand two of this, you can apply, but you can't become a good, successful AIPM. And I've seen like there are exceptions left and right, but that's everything complete is here. So I hope you understood this for the first time. I've shown it many times. You can thank Lohit for creating such a good graphic that made me land this idea better. Okay, now you will go for interviews, and what will happen? Nobody will say, the recruiter won't going to tell you that, hey, we are going to judge for ML concepts. Here is a question bank you can prepare for. None of that will going to happen. They're going to say, hey, your interview will look a little different than what we had being used for Google. It will be a little bit behavioral, but we'll check for your sense, execution, and everything also. But expect surprises and make sure your AI, what you have written on your resume, you can defend it and be ready for surprises. We are looking for people with AI skills. Okay, then what the questions will look like if I'm checking for ML concepts. Here are some questions that I have heard because I help people get past these interviews. So recently somebody got asked this question, which is, what do you think about MCP servers? Are you all in or skeptical? See, the question, they're not asking what are MCP servers. They're not asking you to code. They just assume that you know what MCP servers are or what MCP is. And now they're asking you for your opinion, whether you are all in or you're skeptical. Anybody want to take a shot at it? You have 60 seconds to respond. 3, 2, okay. Valence, go ahead. Valence
It
is here.
is,
You raise
it
your
is
hand and then
still in
answer. Valence,
pipeline.
Valence, 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 Valence. No, 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 not anybody. And Valence raised his hand. Valence, Valence. Go ahead, Valence.
It's a great concept. It depends on the definitions of how those calls are made in the MCP, because you're trying to provide clear instructions for a machine to reason what tool to use. And if it's poorly implemented, you will get garbage in, garbage out. So promising concept, it depends on the implementation of the MCP servers.
Okay. We have 30 more seconds. I can get somebody else to respond also. Can somebody want? Yes, Navleen.
I might
Navleen
be
just
wrong,
changed
but
my
I
life,
think
Navleen. You don't start your answer. I might be wrong.
yes, because lowering the expectations, but I think it's a modular component pipeline. It basically divides the components into different modules, and all the modules are processed parallelized way so that it decreases the inference cost.
Great. Very well done. Pooja. And Pooja is the last one. Then I need to move on. I will give you the answer. I put Pooja because Pooja is special to me. I know she raised her hand and she lowers it. That's an indication for me to bring them back. So Pooja, you're ahead of the queue now. Go ahead.
Thanks, Mahesh. So Model Context Protocol is an open source standard. And yes, I'm a little skeptical. I'm not going to go into the techie part of it. Skeptical because it's open source and most of it is controlled by Anthropic, which is kind of a challenge to bring into the enterprise area. So there are other challenges associated with not having a standardized platform. Thank you.
Great answers. Great answers. Thank you. I will just, Anirban is here because Anirban is special to me. Anirban, I will give you the next one. Don't just hold on to this one. Let me go ahead because otherwise we'll never finish this session. But I would love, Anna is not happy with me now. Anna is looking at give chances to Pooja. Anirban, go ahead. Anna, go ahead. Both of you. You're so special.
Okay, I'll just take 30 seconds. Model Context Protocol, it is the protocol which the LLMs understand. Behind the scenes, it is using RPC, right? Like your API understands HTTP, uh, the LLMs or the models understands this MCP. That's what I can
How can I help you today? Mohammed, right?
Can everybody mute themselves? That was a different call. Anna, go ahead. Thank you, Anirban. Good answer. Anna.
Perfect. So my answer is a little bit different to everyone because I think as an product manager, you want to simplify your life, and especially you want to use things that make life easier, like MCP, the Model Context Protocol, really helps to plug into a different business source API calls using this one connector, and for product manager, being able to quickly prototype using this, it speeds up
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
So, yeah, sorry, someone has a question?
No. Go ahead, Anna. I think somebody has.
That would be my
can
kind of.
We mute everybody? Arjita, that will mute Anna as well, but can we mute everyone? Go ahead, Anna. Continue. We'll unmute you.
No, sorry. So just, yeah, I wanted to very briefly just explain that it gives you such a big value of, standardizing that integration with so many different tools that as a PM, very often I value that sort of speed of doing things much faster, especially because my number one goal is to prototype experiment quickly with things. And then, I have my engineering team to help me kind of worry about the other things, how to do it in a safe way, etc. So yeah. I think
Great.
that's
I
my
think
answer.
all of you gave me all the ingredients I needed. Thank you. So that's the kind of
Right.
questions you can expect in interviews. I gave you one framework to solve this problem, which is what, so what, now what? And I think all of you were going in that framework, which is, if I need to answer this question, I will just say, hey, before MCP, what happens is to build LLMs, to make LLMs useful, we need them to do things. For that, we needed tools, but everybody was creating their own tool. And in a company, maybe the same tool is created 5 times. With MCP, Anthropic gave a standard way to create a tool once. And then all these 5 teams inside the company can use the same tool. And outside the company can also use it with a standard mod MCP server. And now any client can connect to it. So that's what MCP is. I am actually very pro on it because it first time we are giving standard things, and there is no standards available for LLMs or this new AI agentic world. So anything in that which standardizes things, I'm always been a big pro on that. So I am a pro on it. And for us, why it matters is that, yes, this allows me to create an MCP server for my course, or if I'm working for a company, then we can give this support as a service, and then we can scale it. That's why I'm gaga for this. There are a few limitations that I'm aware of, which I think we all need to be. One is that I would, as Pooja mentioned, that it's not controlled by a centralized open source body. So Anthropic can, because we are Google, let's say, then Anthropic can bar us, not allow us to contribute to the code. And if there are fixes, we can be delayed. Second is that the discovery of MCP servers is really hard. I think Anirban touched on it, that if I want to look for a server, there are 10 people raising their hand that I have an MCP server for Airtable, and I don't have a clear mechanics to pick one. Even with those limitations, I'm gaga on this. So if you talk like this, you sound like somebody I want to hire, and you have a very deep understanding of ML concepts, but you also understand from product perspective, what is how, so what and now what. So what is, should we go for it? Are you gaga for it? And now what are you doing about it for your own products? And if we need to do something, which the role I'm interviewing for, what are you going to do? And why is these ML concepts important? We are looking for people who are technically to understand the challenges and seize the right opportunities. Because things like MCP, A2A, ACP come out every week. I want my product manager to make sure that they understand these things or can understand these things and make the right calls for us, that when should we move and when should we not move. That decision is, I want the product managers to drive and bring all these insights as a paper every 2 weeks for us to pivot or not pivot, or take this new thing or not. And if you can't do that, then it's very hard for me to hire you or make you functional in this fast-paced AI world. And second is, if you know these things, you can pick the right timelines. Like for MCP, you will pick very short timelines, because if you implement MCP server from somebody third party, then you know that you are not writing a lot of APIs, you're not writing any code. They have done all the work. In your client, you're mostly just writing 4, 5, or 6 lines of code, and it can be done. So if you know that, then you can drive the engineering faster. And if you don't know that, then maybe you're going to delay the things unnecessarily. So these are the advantages why people are looking for ML concepts. And this is what you will see in interviews. Can LLM reason? If yes, how? If no, then how they are passing the benchmarks. You see, there are a lot of terms thrown at you. Benchmarks. Can they reason? I know we can go on like 10 minutes on this, but I'm going to skip it. I will take only one questions. Okay, then those were ML concepts. What kind of questions people ask to understand? Do you have deep understanding of ecosystem? These are real interview questions also. So people ask, hey, what do you think about open source versus closed source models? And who will win eventually? So that's one of the questions. People who have not answered in the first round can get a chance to answer this time. What do you think? If you get this question, how will you answer it? Who you think will win, open source versus closed source? Anybody who has not answered? Their name is Pooja, not Pooja, Anirban, Anna. Okay, Dikshita and Rahul. That's it. Two people.
I would mention depending upon the security, it would be open source. Open source versus closed source would vary, and also I would take the applications which are being built based on that. Go with an open source versus closed source. So I would try
But
to
what do you think
categorize it.
who will win? Dikshita, who will win?
I think it would depend on where we are using it, right, Mahesh? Like,
No, I'm looking for the question is different. The question is who will win in 2 years? Will we see more companies selling open source, or we see closed model just dominating the world?
I would say closed source because it gives more power and it gives more um, personalization and performance improvement. So I would say closed source versus open source. And with open source, there is a lot of traffic that comes in. Like we saw the Chat GPT go down when they started um, the picturization thing with the cartoon faces
Yeah.
and all that. So the same thing happened with Gemini 3 too. And those kind of open source will, because of a lot of traffic, would have down periods. So I would prefer closed source, and because of the guardrails and the performance speed, and the personalization factors.
Perfect. Rahul.
So there are like various different parameters using which we can think of like whether the closed source will win or open source will win. But for me, the most important thing is that in closed source, there is a lot of trust for the customers. And because of that, it will be like easy for them to scale, because when the customers have trust, they will buy these products, and it will be helpful for the closed source model to grow.
Okay, so we have one vote for open source, one source for closed source. Should we give more people chance, or should we continue? Does Geeta make that call? Sham, go ahead.
Yeah, I think when we talk about open source, these models are not really open source. You will not be able to see what data it have been trained, or you cannot see some sort of deeper insights into this. There are more open weights, and where you can host your you can self-host your LLMs in your own premises. Those are the factors that determine. And your specific question, who will win? Both have a space and they grow individually. For example, in enterprise situation where you want to train your own custom data and you don't want anybody to have access to that, probably a closed source. The open source models like DeepSeek or Llama or something like that will win. And whereas, this, if you look at all these closed source, they're not just the LLM models. There's a lot of agentic workflows that are associated that kind of fine tune your queries, and there's a lot of agentic workflows that surround it. That is an added advantage which you don't have to handle it. So I guess there's a space for both of them.
Yeah, so I think worst thing you can do. First, good answer. Thank you. You touched on a lot of my rubric. I will continue. I will not take any of your hands now. Otherwise, this session will continue for forever. It will be 5 p.m. before I know it, because all of you will get all the answers. But let me give you my take on it, and then we can continue. So when we are talking about ecosystem, I think the first person, Dikshita, touched on these things, and then I think all of you continued. First, understand that this is not I'm looking for your perspective or your products. I'm looking for how much deep you understand the ecosystem. So first, explain what is the closed source, what is the open source, who the players are. So say okay, first step, explain. Did you understood the ecosystem? Explain or understand, identify, execute. You can use that framework for this. Do you understand what these are, which all of you are touching upon? Understand what is open source, what is closed source. Open source models are the models which weights and data is open, while closed source models, for an example, Meta, DeepSeek, Mistral are the companies in this space. And then you talk about, hey, I'm also talking about closed source where they don't share your data, they don't share their weights, but they share how they train the model. I'm talking about Gemini 3.4 Pro. I'm talking about GPT 5.1. I'm talking about Claude from Anthropic. Okay, now who will win? So far, my opinion is that in AI, the biggest challenge is that giving the highest accuracy, and somebody need to stand behind it. And if they can, in last 3 years, what I have seen is Meta is not able to push their Llama agenda forward and has continuously lost share to OpenAI or Claude or Gemini. So till we figure out how can we build the most accurate models in different horizons, I see closed source models continue to win for next 3 years horizon. And then they can ask you cross questions and you can continue. Both the answers are good. I gave you the second opinion because a lot of people were biased on open source side. I gave you a closed source side. The answer doesn't matter. How much depth you understand the ecosystem matter here. And why I ask you these questions? Because I want you to build the strategy. If you're going to build the strategy for us, where we want to play, where should we go, how are we going to play when things will play out? If you don't understand who's who, you can't build the strategy for us. And do you have a deep understanding of the system so that when you go talk to our stakeholders, can you build that trust that they should trust you? And that cannot come if you don't even know the basics of who's who. You need to know that the open source model can be hosted on Azure and can provide you the same security, safety that open source, closed source gets you. You should also know that OpenAI is giving away the models to you. If you want an enterprise, you want to configure it and model it, they are giving it also. So there's no advantage left for open source. They are going to give you the models. You can train it. You can configure that also. And who wants to see the weights and biases anyways? People want to solve their problems. And it's a level playing field both ways, right? So knowing those details helps you crack these interviews or at least come across as somebody who knows these. And it's more than cracking these interviews for me. Just doing the right thing also requires this knowledge. And if you're doing a lot of right things, I think you can crack any interviews. Okay, the last one, AI product sense. You will get questions like, hey, we build this thing which takes contracts and maybe extract key terms. We are legal Zoom. We created this service, but now it's coming default in OpenAI. OpenAI just killed that product for us. We spent 6 months, 8 months on this. What do you think we should do next? Or they will just ask, hey, I looked at this AI project you did, how you evaluated it. Or they can tell you, we are building this new human cloning AI agent that will clone your voice and everything. How you think we should evaluate it? And the thing they're trying to test here is, have you ever done that? Do you have the frameworks? Can you go in depth of these things? Because without that, you can't identify the right opportunities. You can't set up evaluations, and you don't know what is the legal or the AI acts are, and you don't know how to build responsible products either. So if you don't know these things, then you won't be able to execute fast, and you will be not bringing in the solved problems inside your PRDs. We want to see a lot of unsolved problems in AI, but we don't want to see solved problems that you are not planning for, which are, can you narrow the focus of an AI project and put the highest, riskiest things first? Can you actually create evaluations? Can you create pricing? And can you tell us what to build or buy? And these are the things I expect you to know before you show up. And I have questions for you. Okay. So quick takeaway is, you should be building product sense. You should be building ML concept knowledge, and you should be building a complete ecosystem understanding if you want to lead in the new era of AI. That's my only takeaway out of this deck. Okay, then how can you get AI experience to show up in your CVs? Okay, then we turn this. Okay, this is what we need. We need all these things. And I think ecosystem is a little easier because you can read a lot and you can do courses and you can get that. Maybe ML concepts is also easy because, again, there are a lot of courses you can take and you can build that. The hardest part is building AIPM skills or doing projects in AI. So how can you do that? Let me give you some tips. That's my second section. And if I can land it in 10 minutes, then we are done. Step one, you need to get into AI projects, building AI projects. That's what I want all of you to do. Now, how can you do them? You can be in two buckets. One, let me just stop this and give you 3 steps. Give you 1 step, and then the rest of the steps are easy. So we'll go back to the deck. Okay, I am here and I can be in 2 buckets. Either I have a job, I don't have a job. And my goal is to build these projects, because without that, now I learned that the chances of me getting into AI are little slimmer than the people who have done the projects also. These two, I can train you, I can do with you, I can help you. This you have to do yourself. So what is the path to get to this? If you have a job, then in your job, everybody's looking for AI, and you can raise hand, and start working on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. That's what I did. In 2016, I wanted to get into AI. I started just sitting next to Microsoft Research and said, I will do anything. I'm an engineer. I can write code. I can do testing. And they said, we don't need anything. I just start labeling for them. All I was doing is taking shirts color and just saying red color, yellow color, red color, yellow color. I did that for a 1 month. Now I know who's and who. Then I go and build this model. Then I created a hardware device called Vision AI Dev Kit. Then I created Factory AI. And then I went to Facebook and created PyTorch distributed platforms. But it started with what? I'm just doing labeling. And if you have teams and they need a lot of handholding, you can test for them, you can label for them, you can get them data, just go and do that work for them. Okay? And that's the first path. Or in your product, introduce an AI feature and make it part of your main OKR, objective key responsibilities, and land that in 3-6 months. Good. So that's the second way you can go and do it. And I highly recommend getting this done. And I know there are 100 challenges, your managers doesn't like it, you are already, they are judging you, all that, all those problems. This is essential. And that's the best thing your company can give you. When I was at Microsoft or I was at Facebook, my comp was big, but my biggest comp was that I have access to the cloud infrastructure. So I can train, I can try all these things for free. And I use that the most. And that's the only thing I miss a lot, that I don't get free cloud. But I made a concession because I have a company now and they give me free credits, but not to the extent that I had then. So now I have like 300K of credits that I can burn in a year, but I used to get like 500,000 or something when I was there. So you have all of that. And if you get out, you will not have that. So know you're sitting on the real deal and use that to clear your daily chit chats or daily problems with your managers and all. Get past that somehow and try to get here. Okay, I don't have a job. Then I have 3 steps that you can do. First step is you should reach out in your domain where you have expertise, reach out to startups and say, I'm ready to work for you for free. They will take you because they need hand, they have a lot of work, and you offer your expertise, you offer your customers, and tell them that I will help you bring customers. The moment you say startup and customers, it's like a love affair. They will fall in love with you for getting you customers, but then they will teach you how to use their tools, what they're doing in AI, and you already have the domain expertise. So work for them. After 3 months, negotiate minimum wage. You don't want to work for these guys a lot because they will continue to use you for free because they have no incentive to pay you. But then you say, are you adding value? Because in 3 months, you will build some kind of a project, you will have some value. And if you have value, negotiate minimum wage, spend another 3 months, and then expect a full-time job. If you don't get it, move on. Every 6 months, you're creating an awesome project, awesome impact, 1 line in your CV. The next job should not be free. It should start at minimum wage. Why? Because at this point you have, so the timeline now is 6 months. Yes. I mean, there's no way if you don't have a job, you don't know AI, you've never worked in AI, and you think you can take my course and get to AI just like that, I want to say yes and get paid in my course. But the truth is, you will not be there. Beth, go ahead. Beth has a good
Hi.
question.
Yeah, one of the things that I did at a small fintech in London, where I wanted to introduce AI, was and the senior management were against it, but the developers really were interested. Was I sponsored a hackathon,
Yeah,
and some of the we won basically, and it was basically the sales staff hadn't done a really great job of identifying how the users were using the system, and there was enough metadata available in the naming conventions of their files to use knowledge graphs to understand how the users were actually using the system. We found out they were doing a lot of regulatory reporting, and then that gave me the information I needed to build my next vertical.
you are awesome. And you can see this. You can get it through the hackathons way. You can get through the projects way. You can go outside, build it for somebody. And if you're on H1B, I heard this excuse a lot. I'm on H1B. I can't work for anybody. I need this and that. You can work for nonprofits. Okay, your company doesn't allow you. You can work for any nonprofit. They won't pay you. You can volunteer it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you can build AI for them left and right. And every nonprofit gets free 15,000 credits from 15,000 in credits from cloud providers. That's more than enough for you to build and ship AI agents for that company. So there is just a lot of way to unblock yourself. Okay, then you have done that. If you are in our course, we are creating this 21-day plan. Hopefully, all of you will get it. This is day by day plan on what you need to do. This, hopefully, you have done it in the course. If not done in the course, then we are giving you this step by step on what skills you need to build, which is covering all these things. We are giving you frameworks, we're giving you evaluations, and this is building all those three muscles that we talked about. And you will get it hopefully by end of this week or before we start the AIPM training for interview prep. Okay, you're doing AI projects, you've learned how to execute AIPM job also. So you got these and you can learn all those skills with this 21-day plan. We have templates, we have everything you need to be successful once you get these jobs. And that's concentrated as a 21-day plan, and you can do search based on what you are facing a problem with. And we have a template and we have guidelines for you. Then you have to continue to update yourself. For that, we are giving you this Substack. This is free for all. Please subscribe to it. And we are posting here every week. What are the technologies, things, what are you need on ecosystem to succeed and all. So you will get that also. Great. Okay, now you have this. Then how can you create awesome CVs that pass the ATS and create your stories? Okay, here is my CV. I have put it in the link. You will get the slide link. You can use my CV as a reference. And there's few things that I will bring. I can't bring all the great things in my CV. I will do it some other day, or if you join the course, we have a whole module, 2 hours just on how to create a CV. But let me give you quick tips anyways. Step one, make sure you have a section like this in your CV, where you have put all the tools, the technologies, and the things you have done on the tech muscle side. Just list all the things you have done. And if you have done the course, you should have at least 10 to 12 things to write here. So just create that in your CV. If you don't have it, this will pass a lot of ATS problems. Then you need to create bullets like this. And I'm looking for 3 things in each bullet of yours. Like you create these stories, and this is the ingredient. First, I talk about an AIPM skill. I said I created a product vision. Then people ask me, okay, what was your vision, Mahesh? Then I said I created when I went there, it was 2024. Models were not great, but we wanted to provide customer service. And I created first platform to build agents for customer service for all Google. Okay, what was your vision? My vision was to provide exceptional service 365 days in all languages at a cost that Google can afford, and a service level that beats human service level that we are getting through vendors today. I have said a lot of things in this one statement. I have said that only AI can produce 365 days in all languages support, because I know that, right? And then they can probe me further, but now you see that I know this, that's why I can set a vision like this. And then I said that, hey, we're taking on things that already vendors are doing, and vendor doesn't care about Google mission. It's some person working for some vendor in Philippines who just showed up because they got paid. We can do much better job for tier 1, tier 2 support if we build AI agents which are in-house and we evaluate it as humans and put our best of DeepMind into work. And then take it as a template to show the world that we can do great things with models that are in-house and bring the differentiated advantage that DeepMind is looking for. So now I have a strategy which brings whole of Google behind me. So that's what I'm trying to bring here through my AIPM skills. You'll see that I also put a link here for reasoning, and I bracket it with LCOT. Now they can ask me about it. This is long chain of thought context. And if they ask, I can take on this ML concept and explain them because I have read about it. And now it's in my CV as a hook to get me that. Or if anybody reads it, they will get the idea that I'm pretty technical. And then I'm bringing the domain expertise that I'm an expert in cloud support. And I can talk more about it. I just left it there, but you can talk more about it. Every bullet has these three things, believe me, your CVs will be in front of hiring managers, and you will be in front of hiring managers. You can lose it, but make sure you have these three. And obviously, this has the star format. It has the what impact you created, what the results, what the problems. Make sure you have that, but make sure these three are there in each bullet of yours, especially on the very first experience you are showing up. Okay, you created these CVs. You're saying this seems like a lot of work. Then inside this cohort, people have created this app called nextroll.ai. What it does is this app allows you to get all of this done much faster than what you can do manually. We have an AI agent here, and here you can upload your CV and description, and we can tailor your CV according to these principles before you apply. We can optimize your resume to ATS, and we can customize based on your experience. You just type your projects. You can just say, hey, I got this skill I learned a new skill called reasoning models. And then you can add your projects and the details. And then we can write that in your resume. We can update these with all these things. So just share your resume or the projects you're doing, and we can keep updating your resume so that it remains user-friendly. By the way, they also go and apply jobs for you. So they can do all this as an agent, a fully automated way. And I was able to talk to them because the people who build it are from our cohort. This is Charu's product. And they are giving this whole thing for free if you join our cohort. So this service allows them you can apply 200 jobs automatically. They will scan it. They will find the jobs. They will do your CV and they will apply for you. So you just need to focus on building the skills, but they will take care of all the hard work of getting you calls. So fully automated service. So that's also something I would highly recommend all of the people. We are starting an interview bootcamp. Hopefully next week. We are looking at timings. We might need to move it because I have got a travel plan coming. I'm trying to see if I can still accommodate it. But join it. I think this will be a great way for you to get started. If you join it, we will also give you, if you join our January cohort, we'll give the interview prep for free because I think they will go well together. But you can just join the interview prep also if you think you know everything and you just want to get tips on interview, then join this one. If you want to get everything, like want to learn, do projects, and then go to interview prep, then join this one because this is a bundle and we will give you free the interview prep. With that said, here are some resources. Here is a link to my CV. Here are the key terms that you can put in your CV. Here is Nextroll. Here you can join our Substack to stay up to date. Here is our Slack channel, and you can watch a lot of things on our YouTube. Thanks. I started this community to make sure that all the success I got by chance or by working hard, I can share that with this community and grow it. I've tried doing that every week. I was talking to an instructor on Maven, and they were surprised that I show up every week. They were worried that I am not monetizing my brand because most of them has this time created a lot of courses even as video courses, and they are just playing that in their courses, and they think they should be protected as their time. I am doing very different things because I think money is not that big a problem by God grace. I have made my money, doubling my salary from 16 to now. I have enough. And I just want to make sure that you don't make the mistakes I made, and you go prepared. And if I know something, you should know it in this community. Of course, it's hard for me to do it at scale for everybody. That's why the cohort, that's why we charge one-time fees. But after that, you're part of this internal circle. And most of the people will attest here that we're very generous with our time and everything. So I will highly recommend you to take your journey seriously, whether through this Friday sessions or coming to our cohort or joining any other cohort. It's hard to break into new. AI has changed a lot. In 2016, we were just doing one or two things, but now there are like 100 things and there are 2,000 resources to learn from. And all that may not cover even 50% what you need to learn, as you saw today. So my high recommendation to you is choose one source, choose one thing, and spend next 6 months getting into it. You are not late. We are just getting started. On that, I will just land last story and then I will let you ask me questions. I started late on cloud. I was not the first mover on cloud. And I learned it because I saw cloud going to be a big thing in Microsoft. So I left my Surface team and went to cloud team. And by this time, cloud was there for 5 years. So I joined cloud in 2016. Microsoft made a big push in cloud in 2013 when Satya came. And by 3 years, a lot has changed. And everybody was settled and everything. But I still was able to find cloud and I was waiting for my next big thing. And my next big thing happened in terms of AI. But I waited. I learned cloud and data, and then I waited for AI to become a thing. And you can join this AI now and wait for your next big thing, which could be agents, which could be multi-agents, which could be AGI. There's a lot of things, and there is robotics, and there is more and more coming, and the possibilities are. So join now and then wait for your next big thing. And you are just coming in the very first place. Like this is just getting started. So you all have not missed. So that's my quick. I hope I tried my best to put all these insights in like 45 minutes. I know I'm 7 minutes over, but hopefully this was helpful to all of you. And hopefully you can use these slides to get started. Or I will see you next week in our 4 weeks Build Plus AI PM interview getting ready sessions, where we'll talk more about how to build stories, how to crack. We'll take case studies, we'll build those together, and we will build with Cloud Code, which I can't not cover in the course. I think it's an interesting tool, which at least I will make you comfortable with so that you can use it day to day to have even more stories about AI in your portfolio. With that said, let's take questions till 10:10, 17 minutes. Arjita, where is Arjita? I know you have raised hands. I will come to raise hands maybe, but today I want to get Arjita because maybe people were patient enough to give Arjita the chance. Arjita, do you have some questions?
I think, but I have lost the track, but I know the name. If Saurabh is here, I think Saurabh is one of the participant who asked a question. If he is
Saurabh
around.
left now. You didn't ask the
No,
question then, like Saurabh.
I
Okay,
asked this
Saurabh, go ahead.
question, Mahesh, regarding like how do we build find opportunities to build projects which we can show in our CV or portfolio. I mean, you partly
Yeah, so
answered.
Yeah, so I think there are many ways, right? If you have a job inside your company, if you have a job not inside your company, then start volunteering for nonprofits. If you can't find nonprofits, I'm happy to help you get to some. Like we can help you there, like as a community, we can reach out and start offering our resources. But the only challenge is then you need to commit some time because I can't have them here and then you say, okay, I'm here, but then you run away and these guys come after me. So that's if you are ready to commit like some hours, we can solve that problem. And then if you're outside, then start with the course, do the project that you're doing, land that to real customers, maybe 5, 10, your friends, your family, or inside if you're building a core product. And you will learn a lot even in that. And then try to work for a nonprofit in that area. Sorry, nonprofit or
How do
for-profit in
you
that area.
reach out to these non-profits?
Oh, you just reach out to nonprofits because you know they're CEOs and they are looking for funds left and right.
Okay. Thank you.
We are happy to help if that remains a challenge. Arjita, one more and then we'll go to one hand. No more. Nobody reach out to Arjita after this. Arjita, you're mute. Arjita is mute.
Yeah, sorry. Most of them reach out to me to add them to Slack, so I've been just like monitoring that. But yeah.
Ah,
I did
you need
add my
Lohit, huh?
question there to the
Sunita,
chat. So,
go ahead.
Yeah,
Sunita,
thanks,
go ahead.
Mahesh. Thanks, Mahesh. Mahesh, one quick question, maybe like, as I know you're in a leadership role. I was just curious, like, if you're in a leadership role or looking for a leadership role in AI, are all these things that you mentioned important? Because oftentimes I feel that a lot of time gets devoted in the top two circles. Like definitely, the three circles you drew. I'm not saying one should not be hands-on, but the time gets limited in that sense. Any recommendation or anything you want to share around
Yeah,
that front?
I think if you're going for leadership, right, you need to spend a lot of time in ecosystem. Like, can you build the strategy? The questions I get is,
Right.
okay, Mahesh, we hired you. We are going to Sundar. Tell me what you will put. Three things you will put in our strategy and two things you will remove from what we are doing. That's an easy
Right.
question and a very hard question, right? So that will take 15 minutes. But after that, there will be also a question on your technical depth, which is like they want to make sure that the leaders also understand it, whether it is from your CV or not. But so expect like the percentage might vary, but they want to make sure that you understand technology also. And the last one,
Yeah, so
right, doing this evals and all may not come up for you.
Right. That's what I see, a lot of strategy and definitely technical depth. But in terms of like, like all these technical, like PyTorch and all, having that on your resume, is that equally important?
No, that's not important at all. It is there for me because I was a developer, right? You will write your own, which may not be PyTorch, JAX, or TensorFlow, because my CV is more dev heavy because I was a developer for like 15 years in my career. So
Okay, so
I still have like C++.
Are you a product dev leader now at Google or a dev leader?
I left Google also, but yes, I spent 5 years in product roles. I was in product at both AWS, Microsoft, and Microsoft. All I switched to. So 15 years in Microsoft, 10 years at Microsoft, 5 years at working through Qualcomm, 15 years that engineering, and then I switched to product at Microsoft, and only 1 year there. Then I moved to Facebook in those teams, and then AWS, and then Google. And now I am trying to start my own company, which is building agents for back office automation, starting with legal. So if your legal is stopping you, then you can talk to me. I have agents for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Mahesh.
Ramya.
I'll just connect line. Yeah, you mentioned Surface because I'm doing Edge AI there, so I was just curious. Okay, I'll
Oh, great. Happy to help. I was for the first 30 people in Surface team. Ramya.
Right. And I hear a lot about you in the team. So yes, happy to connect.
Oh, they still remember my name, huh? Thanks.
Yes, they do. Some of them have worked with you. So yes, they do. Yes.
Oh,
Thanks a
Sunita,
lot.
good to hear that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah,
Ramya, go ahead.
they do. Yeah.
Hey, Mahesh, I just want to start by appreciating what you're doing. I've taken paid courses on Maven. I think your free session is much better, and I've derived more value on this. To everyone,
So
this is
you are
not a
saying,
paid.
basically, you are saying that I am actually monetizing my audience. No, I'm cannibalizing my audience, not monetizing them. Huh? You're saying that's true, Mahesh.
No, people, I think, as a result of this experience,
okay.
I'm
That's
interested
okay.
in going in the paid direction also. I've not yet taken a
Thank
course
you.
with you. My question is, I see people in the course, even the last few weeks that I've attended, all these Friday sessions, people seem to be very advanced. So is there a requirement for someone who is very nascent in their AI journey to join your course to have any kind of that, or it's okay to start off even as a non-tech PM? It's there on your website, but I
Yes,
wanted to double check.
but this is another cannibalizing thing we do, which is when these people come in, I tell them on the very first day that, they say that, we won't be successful here because we have seen your Friday sessions and they are so smart. They know so many things. They talk like MCP in terms of API. They write code and all that. And I'm like, they were not like this when they joined. You wanted to see them. They were just, their hands were shivering when I was talking in the very first sessions. So my quick answer to you, Ramya, is not. You need not to be when you come in, but when you come out, we will make sure you are. So that's our promise. We will meet you where you are. And we don't require you to be really hugely expertise, but make sure that you come up with like 4 to 8 hours in your calendar weekly, because we would expect you to work a lot. And this time we also have mentors, like you were looking at Pooja, Ellie, and I saw Payal also. We have Brian. We have these people who are working as mentors for us, and they sit next to you, they handhold you to make sure that you come out as somebody who is great, and they are ready to handhold you wherever you are. So we have a lot of, I'm very lucky to have this community, to be honest, and especially our course people community. And none of that are getting paid anything, to be honest. I take all the money and just feed my kids with it. They are very fat now. None of that is happening, by the way. I'm trying to find how can we put this money back into this community. But all these people are there to help new people and meet them. So they do sessions privately, 2 hours, where you get like very personalized attention also, so that you can come along fast. So first of all, to answer your question, no, you need not to be technical at all. You need not to be advanced at all. We expect you 101, and we start with 101. Second, we have built an ecosystem and society where in 8 weeks, you will sound like these people and you will know a lot. And that's our promise. Can I make that? Pooja, Ellie, Brian, Payal. They are like looking at me. They're like, no.
Sounds good. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's all
Thanks.
from
Sunita. Thanks. Sunita. Oh, Sunita, we took Sunita's question. No?
Just one
Sunita,
question of the next role AI. Can we get it now, or do we have to wait till?
Yeah, you should be able to get it. Talk to Charu, and we will give you coupons when we start the cohort. Or you can get it now. Just talk to Charu on Slack.
Charu who? Like, is that a last name? Or?
Charu Garg. Charu Agarwal. Okay. Just look for Charu. She should not be that hard. Or Charu Agarwal. Thank you. Prabhat. Or you can just subscribe them. I think you can get a basic version for 3 weeks for free if you just go to their website and subscribe. Prabhat.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Mahesh, I have a very, very basic question, which is, so we've been doing the project.
You can't ask basic questions. You have passed that threshold, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah. So we've been spending good amount of time learning the project and doing it, all of that, right? How do you think we can get it in our resume, or can we talk about it in some way, because there is no company attached to it, like we're doing it for a company or something like that? So kind of, how do you lay it out in the CV at all? Like, I'm just
so I think there are two ways, right? No, I get the concern, right? What happens is, if you put your side projects, like say you did a project and your project is what? My project is, it helps me write LinkedIn post. I'm just taking a basic one. And it can be very hard to build a good LinkedIn post writer for you, which gets you, let's say, 2 million subscribers or 100K followers. Nobody writes that. But let's say you wrote it, you learned RAG with it, you learned fine-tuning with it, you learned a lot of skills building that. So my advice there is that do not put that as a project, but put that as a tools. That's a way for you to get the tool section going. That you can put LangGraph now, you can put LangFlow now, you can put N8N now, you can put Cloud Code now, Cursor now, which you couldn't. So now you have all these, and people can ask you questions. Hey, what do you think about Cloud Code versus Cursor? And now you can talk about it, and you say, hey, I built this, in our company, we couldn't use them because they were not allowed, but I built this side project. And then you have this story. And then you say, I started with Cursor, blah, blah happened. And then I switched to code, blah, blah happened. And then I ended up with N8N. And now they know that when you come here, you are not somebody, we need to train these 3 tools. You are coming ready to go. On the project side, right? If you have nothing in your CV, which is AI, I would take the risk of putting it. But if you can go back once you do these projects and revise your things that you're doing already or you have done with AI flavors, that is more impactful than putting them. So if you have little before like real projects in AI, do not uh, subsidize them by putting your project, because then it just takes
Yeah.
away little trust. But if you have nothing, then I would highly recommend you to put your projects. But one thing I would keep you accountable there is make sure your whatever project you are doing, it's in with 10 to 20 customers hand. Then you can talk like you have done 0 to 1, which would be
Okay.
same for them also, right? Means if they want to build a best LinkedIn writer for the company, there is a version of that inside a corp also. And that would be a real project. And the complexities, the challenges, the evaluations, the pricing, the narrowing the scope, all those skills may not be very different. And you can land those.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I try to do, and I'm in the latter board. Like, I don't have stuff in my resume because of the past projects, but I try to get something in the cover letter just to get that attention. I have a few things in the tool section, like I've thrown in a couple of things.
Yeah, I think that's why I
as we
continue
are
to say
learning.
that try to do the projects to know enough that you can start be helpful for real companies with real products. Or do the projects which can be real products for yourself so that you can start building customers and learning stuff. And maybe you never need to get a job. That opportunity right in front of everybody. You can register a company for $1,000 and the cloud providers give you 300K credits in cloud usage. You can hire an engineer in India for $500 and 2 people can get started today. Never has happened in the history of humanity that this was how easy it is to work on your ideas.
The committee can take a look even before you apply to let you know the credits that you do have, and if you're missing any credits.
That's not me. But yeah,
That's
thank you.
Oriana, but she muted herself. Pooja, go ahead.
Hi, Mahesh. I have the same question, like around the same topic. I'm from cohort 6. I am in the phase where I have already updated my resume. I have built 2 prototypes. But the problem is when I'm updating my resume, I don't have that format because I cannot say I have increased 20% of this, reduced this, or increased accuracy, or brought something, because these are not like live projects. These are all prototypes. So I'm failing in that part. I cannot show that. How do I go for that?
Yeah, so I think your prototypes needs to be a... Okay, something bad happened. Can you all hear me properly? Okay, good. Okay, Pooja. Then my suggestion is do not do many projects. Take an idea and take that project to a product level. And if you're doing evaluations, and if you can evaluate, then you can claim that you have improved the accuracy and work on those things. And once you have a project, try to get it in the hand of customers too and make it a product. Go through that journey. Unless you go through your journey, there is no like silver pill for us to just give you or you to take from anywhere where you can just start claiming these numbers. But you can go and start building customers for the projects that you started here. You should have built, or we can help you build good enough MVP that customers can actually touch, feel, and give you feedback, which you can evaluate with subject matter experts and then work backward to improve accuracy. And if you do that, then you can claim these things. And the second step of that is you can start working for a real company in the area that you have built the project for.
Yeah, I got that idea about like the non-profits one. I am in that H1B thing, so non-profit will help me.
You can even work for startups, right? It need not to be a non-profit. You can work for a startup for free. They will take you if you know the domain expertise, and if you offer them to get some customers in that domain or introduce them your relationships. So you have to offer something to get something, right? And if you do that, then they will be happy to have you.
Yeah, because my resume is not even meeting that criteria where I have increased accuracy. I get it with evaluation. I'll get that part, but the other part, like I've got like increase the revenue, or I have the model in my current company which I've already deployed using the AI tools. We are not there at all.
Yeah, so there are some challenges, right? And you go step by step. You take your projects and you can fill those gaps.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay,
not
well,
like one day you wake up and we can like, or I can wake up and I say, want to apply in quantum and I can get a quantum job, right? It's just a journey and then we have to build it step by step. There are tools, there are setups, and I'm happy to help you if you're blocked anywhere. So my guidance is go to projects, build your projects, learn the skills, try to make a product out of your project. If that fails, then try to land a free job where there is a product and then contribute to that product. Learn all these three things there, and then you will have a CV in 6 months.
love
And
that.
that job provider can be non-profit or profit. They can pay you or not pay you, doesn't matter.
Got it. Thank you.
Mahesh, Karan here. Just
Okay.
a request. So there are 3 people who have been waiting for very long. They had even put their questions in the chat. So if you can
Go
take their
ahead.
questions in the
Go ahead.
NS Rao,
Bring them
Shapir,
first.
and Aman. Yeah, NS Rao. Yeah, I know you've been
NS.
waiting for a long
And
time. But please.
NS.
Yeah,
NS is from our
yeah.
cohort. Hi,
Thank you,
NS.
Mahesh. Yeah, so the question is like with one of the point that you mentioned, like how do you answer the question where you built a AI product or a feature, and now that it's ChatGPT is offering it for free or Gemini is offering it for free? So maybe if you could throw.
Yeah, that's a very good question, right? So how will you answer a question like that? So I think to answer a question like that, you have to first talk about where the realities is. So you have to say that, hey, we are working in if you're working in the application layer, which is the layer where we are using models, we're not building models, we're not building tools, we are building applications on top of these. Then there is always a risk to be taken up by the people who are building the bottom layer. How I have solved that problem in my courses or when I choose the projects, I choose the projects where if they raise the floor, I can raise the ceiling. Let me give you an example. When I was building this contract specific legal agent, I started with building contract and key terms extraction. This was helping teams to monetize their contracts faster. And at that time, that was of value. But now AI models are really good. They can extract the key terms. So I moved the ceiling. So we have that feature, but now we sell it at almost same rate as what ChatGPT sells. So at least we give it inside the corporation. We are SOC 2 certified. We handle data. But now I'm giving risks, which was very hard to do then. But now as the model's reasoning capability has increased, I have started giving contracts and I help the negotiation phase also in the journey where I give risks. But to be honest with you, GPT 5, 5.1 and 3 Pro, I have seen can do the redlining or do the negotiation also right away there. So now what I have started offering on top of that is that, hey, I can do market research for you and give you the best market values of this. So earlier the negotiations was only human judgment, but now I can tell you what is the market values using the research agent, which is not working today. So you see, as ChatGPT keep on adding capabilities, I can keep adding more and more capabilities on top as my premium services and monetize on the services that are also available there, but at a minimum rate. So as the floor goes up, the ceiling goes up also. And this has to happen at the beginning of when we choose which areas we're going to play. Here I'm playing a game which is a lawyer game, and a lawyer is a very sophisticated job. And they can do much more sophisticated things as we continue to raise the intelligence of these models. So I will be continue to reach one point. At one point, AI will be able to do everything. We will have superhuman capabilities. At that point, la la land. But till that point, I should be able to save you because I choose areas where we invest in AI, where I can move the ceiling if the floor moves. And I have a 3 years roadmap, and 20 things are not possible today. And we are doing the bottom 2. And then I can do any of these 20 as we go along for next 3 years. So that is a good, compelling answer I was able to give to these guys, and they were very happy.
So it just continue to evolve.
So first you talk about the area you are choosing, and then you say in that area there is a scope for as the floor moves up, you can move the ceiling. And you give 2 examples and then you stop and they will ask you questions. Then you go back and forth.
Okay. But what about
So
the
how you
question
save?
where...
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, what about like given that, I mean, is the idea that you have is kind of will be wiped out within no time. So meaning like the product or the product feature. So how do you go about answering that?
Yeah, so you say that yes, we come up with the ideas which are the current unsolved problems. We create a long roadmap for 3 years where current capabilities are only at the 10% level, and I have a 90% which is not possible by AI today. The other idea with what lawyers do is they should be able to answer all your contract specific insights as a Q&A. Today you can do Q&A on a single contract, but ideally that's not interesting. What finance or what CEO wants to know is insights across 300 contracts they have signed. That's not possible because they hallucinate. They can't take this context. Even if you do RAG, it misses all the details. So now that's, let's say, your North Star goal, that all your insights for your contract comes to you in 5 seconds. Start building that. First release is 1 contract, 1 insight, key terms. Then every insight from a single contract. Then risk in a single contract. Then risk compared to contracts from this to what we have signed before. Then risk to what we have signed before and the world is signing. My competitors are signing with the same vendor. Then Q&A on everything else. So now I have like a huge roadmap, and I can do, as they play along, I continue to play along, and I move my team going forward, and I make money on the things. I don't run away from this field. If ChatGPT offers it, I offer a better quality and I reduce my prices. It just becomes it's a competitor that I deal with, but I can do the next big thing. And then I say, okay, ChatGPT can do key term extraction and redlining, but what about multi-contract Q&A? And Asra is like, Mahesh, that's it. I'm good. Thanks. Shafir. One more, somebody from Shafir, and then we can take a question from Karan's list.
Mahesh, thank you. And I'm really enjoying your Friday sessions. That's becoming like kind of a habit, like a ritual kind of stuff. I'm not
now I can't take that means I can't take a winter break, huh?
Okay,
that's how it works.
Okay, so I was about to join your 13, but I'm just rethinking that, whether it will really helpful, because where am I is now I've learned bits and pieces here and there. Now I'm questioning myself, am I take this 13 the cracking interview questions, that the boot camp again, instead of go to the January course, go to the fundamentals and know the technicals of that and be ground on that, then take this course. So I'm just debating about that myself. But my real question is now, it is totally unrelated. It is like, I attended a session like it was with a Stripe hiring manager and then LTK hiring manager. And they were telling a story how to apply and what to be considered when you're applying for a job or any PM job. They said 3 components. One is your LinkedIn profile and your resume and your the Workday or Greenhouse, whatever it may be. So they said it have to be aligned. Whatever you mentioned, that is aligned. But some people, and for people like me, I was in the consulting field. But I worked for the clients like T-Mobile, Starbucks, and the Cadbury's long back. So that is not giving an added value to me, to picked up by FANG companies and everything. So I thought that, okay, you just put that as LinkedIn as a marketing profile, and then do everything. Then there is a difference. There is a mismatch between what you enter, what you give the resume in Greenhouse or Workday, and what you say in your resume, in the paper CV, as well as in the LinkedIn. So how we can, how people like me can fix that?
I don't know. First, I may not agree with the advice completely. Let me tell you, means I do hiring. So let me tell you how hiring works for me. I will
Okay.
give you my side of it.
Okay.
I have a recruiter. I have two people who interview before me, and then I have an interview set up at 9 today. Right. And what happens is they attach their CV on the call, and I have to call my recruiters to say, at least give me the details, who interviewed, what was the notes. And she said, oh, fair, I forgot to add it. And she added. And I have no time to look at any of that. I will put my kids to bed at 8:45. I will have 5 minutes. I will read quickly who has interviewed them. I will look at what their notes are. I will quickly go through their CV, and then I will go and talk to them. And then I will make the call. Yes, at a clean step, maybe a recruiter has looked at their LinkedIn also. And maybe there are some mismatches. But that I don't think should stop you from stop me or the recruiter to call you or have a conversation with you. So that step is a little hard for you because you can't updating your LinkedIn every day. And when you are in a job market, you will be updating your CV every day based on the job you are applying. And you have a lot more as a career that you put it on LinkedIn. And it's a fair for me to not expect you to update your LinkedIn. And if it is a delta, till the time you can offer what I'm looking for in your CV, and when I talk to you, you can justify it, I will take you. So that's my take on that. Like, I would say ignore the advice on updating the LinkedIn and your workforce. My advice is be the first one to apply. That works even better than tailoring. So look for the jobs fast, apply, be the first one to apply, and make sure that you can do fast tailoring with real, like, don't fake it, but put your real skills and apply.
Yeah,
that's how I would put it.
Yeah, so what I'm getting is that you can have this resume and the LinkedIn profile can match together because recruiter is looking in the LinkedIn profile and your resume reflect that. But whatever the jargon you enter in the workday, like you have 20 years of experience, and each 5 years you are changing. And within that, you may be working different brands like T-Mobile, like Starbucks, or Nordstrom, or anything. You can have that in your resume and LinkedIn to have better reachability for that. But Workday can be the real employer you work with. It can be like that. So I'm just asking.
Yeah.
The two components, basically.
And to be honest with you, I'm not that expert. Listen to those guys because I'm not like you. How you sounded even better than me. So I will just take most of your advice. Like I'm not. I'm just telling you how to maintain and make a right CV, but how to have a strategy of alignment. My take is modify your CVs fast and apply a job fast. And if something a common trend, make sure your LinkedIn is aligned to that. With that said, I need to leave. I am sorry. I had a 10:15, but I need to go. I will see you guys later. And hopefully next Friday. And we have a cool session next Friday. So please subscribe for that. Thanks, team.
Yeah.
Bye.
Most questions that got unanswered, please come to the next session and I promise you we'll take them. So
Arjita will take them because today she was just responding to Slack, how to get people to Slack. Thank you, team. It was such a pleasure.
I have a follow-up question. I will Slack you, Mahesh.
Thanks. Bye, team.